Hi guys, it's Thursday night here in Manila, and this is my bonus video for this week because there's a couple challenges going on, and I promised guys I would get both of them done this week, so we'll do one tonight and we'll do one this weekend. So anyways, this first one that I'm doing this week is for Mike Dison, and he wanted to see fantasy cars, so I told him I didn't have like your common fantasy car that's like some of the track stars that Hot Wheels makes that are just like really oddball looking fantasy cars. The stuff I have is kind of based on real cars, but still are not actual real cars, and it also may be like cartoon versions of a car. So that's what I got for the Fantasy Car Challenge. I've got 10 of them, and the first one's sitting here in front of you, and this was on my video this past Tuesday, the 95 Treasure Hunt Purple Passion, and you guys already got a good look at him in that one video, and I'm not going to really go over a lot on it once again, but this is kind of my filler car. I wanted to do at least 10 cars, so this was the 10th one. The others are ones you haven't seen before. So this is very nice looking car, nice looking paint job. This is one of the first treasure hunts ever made. It's number 2 of the 12 car set back in 1995. This is what started the treasure hunt, the chase car craze with all the manufacturers. Hot Wheels was the first to do it, and it was with a 12 car set, and this was one of them. Fortunately, in the package, the white wall rubbed the cardboard too much over 25 years and rubbed a little bit of the white wall off, but no biggie. So that's the first one. It's called, well, this one's called Gold Passion. It was originally Purple Passion and still yet is Purple Passion. It's a Larry Wood design. It's based on a highly customized 49 to 51 Mercury. Kind of has that slope back in where they would have put like 70s, late 70s style Cadillac tail lights like Cadzilla had. And then it has DeSoto grill and big cruiser skirts. The B-pillar was removed. The door window frame was removed to give it that hard top coupe look. So traditional custom. And the reason I can say it's 49 to 51 Merc because it has that drop down body line in the center of the door where all the 49 to 51 Mercuries had. And it's also probably the most popular lead sled of all time for customizers. So that's my first fantasy car. And as I said, kind of a repeat from just 2 days ago. Next is the blow-in delivery, and yes, I am going to open this too. You never see me really keep a car in a package. If I post it on my video, it's getting opened, unless it's like an error or something like that. So let's get him out. I've already opened it before, so we can get him out easily. This is based on probably the heavy-duty like freight style 33, 34 Ford type of truck. There you could see the sloped grille, typical on the 33, 34 Ford. But it has a big body, big cab. So this would be based on some kind of delivery truck from probably 33, 34. But still yet not really based on a real custom of anybody. So this is another, I think it was Larry Wood designed this one, or Phil Raymond, I don't remember. But anyways, this came out originally in 2010 as a red line release at first. It was red and it said Red Line Club on the side, same wheels and tires. This is absolutely my favorite delivery vehicle by far. In the fantasy stuff, but even in real stuff, I would have to say this is my favorite, like, sedan delivery type of vehicle. So yeah, I love this guy. This is from the 2016 Melons, I believe. It was also appeared in the 2011 Melon, so it's appeared twice in the Melon cars. So very nicely done by Hot Wheels. Big, heavy casting. So very cool. So, number 2. This is also a cartoonish looking car. This one was designed by Phil Ryman, and it's based on a real car, but it is basically not very realistic, more like cartoonish looking. The VW Drag Bus. This is the 21 window variant. And this is the most recent one released, I think, the 50th anniversary favorites from last year. I'm sure most of you guys have it. And it's just got that raked, chopped top, and then the front flipping body with a huge engine in it. I'm not even sure if this is supposed to represent like a combustion engine, a turbine engine, what it's going to be, because it has like one huge exhaust pipe. Not sure if that's exhaust or like a jet engine or something. So kind of hard to tell, but definitely cartoonish looking, and it is based, as I said, on like a 21 window platform VW bus. But this actually, I prefer the paneled one, like the 2005 Treasure Hunt. But as of right now, this is the only drag bus that I have, and this is actually pretty cool casting. And to me, this is a fantasy casting. So, next on the list, this is also another custom, and this is not custom, but it's a casting that I think would be based on a custom vehicle. I'm not sure what kind of rig this would be. This is your custom Convoy. This is one of Hot Wheels' most popular castings, I think, for collecting, for convention cars, for mailing cars, and so on. So this is very popular. I used to love collecting this casting, along with like the blow-in delivery and such. A couple other ones I'll show you that I used to collect before I got out of the hobby in 2014. Then I just recently came back in 2017, so I've been trying to reestablish my collection, maybe not as deeply as what it was before, but still yet to get some of the castings that I used to really favor. And this was one of my favorites, the Custom Convoy. So it's based on some type of rig, but single axle in the back, where we know they usually have dual axles in the back, and it's definitely chopped. I'm not sure if this is like a stock front end from the 30s or 40s or maybe 50s. I'm not sure. It's also cool. It's got the Magilla Gorilla tampos on it. Usually I like the plain paint job type of thing, but hey, the pop culture sometimes is cool. And since this is one of my favorite castings, I really didn't mind it too much. So yeah, this is like one of my probably favorite fantasy castings. I was going to say it is my favorite, but there's actually one other one that I would favor more than this, but it's actually based on a real vehicle. It's just got a made-up name. So let me get him out here and show him to you guys. Let me arrange these so we can get a better shot at all of them. So if you kind of skip through the video, you'll see what we got lined up here in front of you. And anyways, the next one is the iconic Texas Drive-In. This is by far my favorite truck casting. Even though I'm a Chevy truck guy and Dodge guy, this is based on a Ford F100, like a 69, 70 maybe, something like that. But they used to not have all the Ranger, XLT emblems and stuff on them. It was just called Texas Drive-In. I think it said Ford on the hood all the time, but I'm not 100% sure on that when it was released in the Classic series back in like 09, something like that. This is a very popular truck to collect. As I said, one of my favorites. So the reason I picked it, even though it is like a Ford F100, it does have an imaginary name, Texas Drive-In. And then this one is the perfect example to use because it's also based on fantasy, like Santa Claus Christmas edition with Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer in the bed. And let's get him out and get a better look at him. And this is actually a very cool holiday vehicle. I can't say it's my absolute favorite, but it is probably up there. I like the 64 GMC panel and the 55 Chevy panel also. The only downside of the 55 Chevy panel, it had the neoclassic plastic wheels. But the 64 GMC panel is pretty cool. This, though, I think is probably going to be my favorite holiday vehicle. Because, as I said, this would be my favorite, like, made-up name type of vehicle from Hot Wheels. Although, as I said, it is a real vehicle now. As you can see, the Ford emblems on the hood, and then the Ranger XLT on the bed, the Ford on the hood. This is very nicely done. This is one of the nicer Texas Drive-Ums, actually. The other couple that I have another like retail release from the Real Riders, that yellow one. Then I have a black and chrome from the RLC lineup, which is very nicely done too. So this even has like snow in the bed where the reindeer can be latched down, but he does come out very easily. So you can take some nice pics without Rudolph in the back, but then it has these little things there that hold his feet in. So very cool, very nicely done by Hot Wheels. Probably my favorite holiday vehicle so far. So that is number 5 in my lineup of fantasy vehicles. And then the next one I will show you guys is another Hot Wheels. I'm going to go ahead and knock all the Hot Wheels out, then we'll do the Johnny Lightnings. So this is another delivery vehicle that I absolutely love. Used to love collecting it. I don't have many variants of it. I think this may be my only example of it nowadays. But this is one of my favorite examples. I just love that Midnight Auto Parts theme with the parts lettering on the side with the different parts like the piston rod and valve and header and valve spring and stuff. Very cool. And then the hours is 11 midnight to 6 a.m. So Midnight Auto Parts for those all-nighters, the guys working in the garage, working on their cars, trying to get them done for the weekend. So it has a very cool theme to it. And the purple and satin gray is very cool looking on this casting. This is based on an old like 30s or 40s milk truck, but highly customized. So yeah, that's why I said it's kind of a fantasy vehicle, and that's why they call it dairy delivery. So not your typical milk truck. So that is another one in my fantasy lineup that I had to put out here for you guys. Then, last but not least, in the Hot Wheels, this is the new Pizza Planet truck released in the Retro Entertainment series from Hot Wheels. This is a little cartoon truck used in the Toy Story. And I guess it was made in Cars too, but I don't know. I know they sell it in the Cars lineup. They have variants of it. And this is based on a Toyota truck, like the Toyota Hilux, I guess. But it's very cartoonish, as you can see, by the dimensions and such. But it looks just like the truck from the movie. And then on the back where it says Yo, but it was Toyota, but it just says Yo where the decals worn off. Maybe because they couldn't get like the rights to Toyota or something like that. But yeah, this is definitely a very cool little truck. I've seen some guys make some customs with these, like where they take the cap and the little Pizza Planet rocket and put it on like the 83 Silverado from Hot Wheels, which looked really cool too. So yeah, people have been coming up with some really cool customs with these trucks. So this is another one of my fantasy vehicles. And then the next 3 are Johnny Lightnings, and they are all based in the same theme, like for tuned muscle cars. So these are actual cars, but they are cartoon. like. So this is the 70 AAR CUDA Zinger. That's what the series is called. This is an earlier release from like 2003, 2004. And what's cool about this one, it has like a 4-link bar set up on the bottom with like 2 different connecting points for the underneath suspension. Most of them have ladder bars. This is one of the very few I've seen with a 4-link setup, which is kind of cool. But these are definitely cartoonish with side pipes, which, you know, it could be a reality. But what's the cartoon thing? There's these huge 4-link bars or ladder bars, and that go all the way from the back all the way up to the front subframe. They would never go that far. Then the huge rake, the high lift, and then even the motor is set up so high that it's basically all the whole motor hovering above the fenders. So to me, this could never be actually built and driven. So that's why I said it's more cartoonish like looking. If you guys remember, there was a comic book in the 80s called Cartoons, maybe even started in the 70s. Muscle Machines actually did a series of the cartoons cars, and Muscle Machines in general to me were like fantasy type muscle cars and hot rods with, you know, kind of comic book proportions and such things like this. These are actually proportioned right with the body for 1/64. This is the same casting that they use for, I think, the everyday like AAR CUDA from Johnny Lightning, but they just add all these cartoonish type of proportions to it. So really dig these. Big fan of the Zingers. And as I said, they roll really good too, as you can see. So anyways, that's why I picked these, because as I said, it's cartoonish, so it's kind of fantasy. Then the other one I have. This one you guys seen before. Actually, this was an unboxing a couple months ago when I got some Johnny Lightning cars for a reasonable price because the packaging was really damaged. I mean, really, really damaged. To the point that it did get a slight little tiny chip on the door that I kind of touched up with a Sharpie, but you can still see it. But still, the price I paid, I think, was like $2 or $3, so it really was not that bad. And the package didn't matter to me since I opened pretty much everything. But this is cool because it's got like a mod top type of look to it. Maybe a little more psychedelic than an actually real mod top, but it's got the right theme, so I thought that was really cool. And as you can see, here's the ladder bar. As I said, it has like 1 connecting point versus this one with the 2 connecting points on both bars. So this is what we would call like a 4-link setup for like a hot rod pro street car. This is the more like 70s thing with the ladder bars and sometimes just leaf spring traction bar setup. But anyways, this same thing, really extreme cartoon proportions on this 71 Challenger RT. The only thing this is lacking, though, they didn't put the quarter panel vents for the RT. But anyways, still pretty cool. Then, last but not least, is another Zinger, and this is a very rare one and valuable one, and it's not even a White Lightning. It's just a regular variant, but still yet, they tend to pull decent money on eBay, and they're really hard to find. It is the 67 Camaro Zinger, and this one is also on a mint card pretty much, but it doesn't really matter. We might as well get him off the card and get a better look at him. So, this is the last in my 10, and as I said, the Purple Passion, well, Gold Passion, that they're calling this one, is kind of a repeat, because you guys seen him the other day in the Treasure Hunt unboxing with the Treasure Hunt history and such. So that was the one I needed for a filler. I have some of what they call ground pounders from M2 that are also cartoonish proportioned like Zingers. And I have a couple of Chase ones, but I'm going to save those for Chase unboxings. I'm not sure if I'll do it next week or in a couple weeks, but I got a couple of them. Actually, the first 2 ever released. Then I have a stock one, too, that I was going to show you guys when I unboxed the Chase variants. So that's why I didn't show those in this video. But that would probably be the only other like fantasy style cars I got that I'm not showing you guys tonight. But this Camaro is sweet. It's got a huge blower motor like the others. Also, ladder bar setup. As I said, that 4-link on the Cuda is kind of a rarity. Krager wheels, and the emerald metallic green is really cool too. Really like that a lot. There's almost like a gold metal flake in it in the video is kind of what it looks like. So very sweet looking car. It's RSSS. The way you could tell, the RS option, hideaway headlights, and the backup lights are in the valence panel instead of in the tail light. So those are your RS features. Even though it just has the SS badging, but those are the RS features. And usually it only had the SS emblem in the grille and on the gas tank lid, which usually the SS emblem was on the cap, I think, not on the rear tail panel. But anyways, yeah, all the RSSs usually just had SS emblems with the hideaway headlights and the rear valence backup lights. Sometimes they had like an RSSS badge there on the front fender and that wraparound like nose stripe. But anyways, yeah, that's how you tell the RSSS. The hideaways and the backup lights being in the rear valence. So, yeah, guys, this is my fantasy layout. This is my take on the fantasy car challenge. So there's 10 of them for you, Mike. I hope this is good. As I said, I don't have any of those really far-fetched, way out there type of fantasy cars. Not that there's anything wrong with them. Some of them look really cool. I'm just not much into them. I go and get into some of them, but for example, I have a couple of like the Circle Truckers in the US. I do like that casting. It looks like a Craftsman NASCAR truck, but it's not really based on any certain type of truck. They just call it Circle Trucker. So anyways, that type of thing I do have. The ones that kind of resemble real cars. As I said, these guys here. The custom Convoy, I guess, is about as far out there as I get because it's kind of strange looking in a way. But I think the only thing that makes it look strange is that single rear axle. But I still love that casting, one of my favorites. So anyways, guys, this is it for the Fantasy Car Challenge from me. Then on Saturday, I will be doing Nitro Speeds Challenge, which is a top 10 muscle car chase vehicles, like the top 10 cars you would use in a police chase, and then he wants you to save the best for last, like your MVP, most valuable player that you would use in one of the big chase scenes, or the last chase scene. So, sounds like a pretty cool challenge, definitely original, so it kind of makes you think outside of the box, not like what your favorite castings are, or what your favorite color is, but actual kind of bringing in the realism thing to kind of think about your cars as being real and how you would drive them and how they handle. So a very cool challenge. So glad Mike at Nitro Speed brought that out. So anyways, make sure you guys check out Mike Dyson's channel too, and then start looking for Mike Dyson's Fantasy Car Challenge. I'm sure a lot of other guys will jump on board and do this challenge. And everybody is welcome to our challenges when we start doing them. So if you guys want to jump in and do it too, that's great. So guys, I appreciate all of you guys watching my videos all the time. It's very much appreciated. So anyways, if you haven't subscribed yet, please remember to do so. Turn on your notifications so you will see all of the videos when they come up. And then please like and share. And I will see you guys this weekend. Thanks for watching and take care.